Hello, my name's Joe Glines, and I'm an automation expert. I've been automating programs on a Windows computer for about 10 years now. And a lot of my friends and colleagues have worked with Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, UIPath, and other tools. And there's some dirty little secrets that they sure don't want you to know. And so I wanted to expose them here. So I'm going to give you 9 secrets. 8 of them are about that. And one, the very last one, hold out for because you're going to love it. So let's go ahead and get going here. The first one is that they don't really tell you this, but hey, each bot's going to cost you around $10,000 per year per bot. So that starts adding up quickly. You need multiple licenses for each bot in each environment. So if you're in the dev environment, stage environment, and production environment, that could be $30,000 for one bot. Each bot is only available to do one thing at a time. They like to talk to them as like virtual employees. And so they only let you do one thing with them, and they don't let it do other things. And so you can start one thing and work it from that morning until noon and then switch tasks and do something else. But that's still, that's just one bot, right? You can't have it doing both at the same time, even though it could be capable of doing those things. The fourth one that we're going to talk about is the adding bots. Each time you want to scale, let's say you design a bot, get it working and it works great. Now you want 10 more because you want to automate the process. Hey, you're paying for each one of those bots. Now, granted, you don't have to pay for the development time, but each one of those additional bots, that's another 10 grand per bot, and possibly even in the different dev environments, right? If you're going that far with it. So we're talking about a sizable amount of money here. Your IT group, by the way, when they first meet with them, it's going to take them about 3 to 6 weeks to get stuff set up just for them to onboard and start being able to use their software, right? So there is a pretty big delay. You're not getting stuff done automated right away. Don't get that out of your mind right now. And the next one is, after they get the software configured, they're going to send someone out there, and it's going to take like 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even a little longer. At $2,000 a day, you're paying this expert to look at the processes and understand what's there and start building a bot for you. So that's a sizable amount of money you're investing here to get this thing working. The other thing that they don't realize is you don't generally automate all transactions, right? There's almost always exceptions to rules. Generally speaking, around 25% of transactions will still need a human to do your work. So yeah, you can cut down your workforce or your time or reassociate it, but it's still, you're going to need some, 25% of your current staff, right? At least to still maintain and do it. Plus, of course, your expert working on the systems. So those are some of the dirty secrets. The next one here, they will tell you, well, while during this time, we're going to be training 1 or 2 of your employees on how to do this stuff. And so that way they can create new bots and, you can have all this great stuff and it'll really simplify things and save you money. But you know what? The vast majority of people just don't have the skill set. Your current employees don't have the skill set to pick up programming this bot, even though it isn't rocket science. It's just that's not their background and they have other jobs. So you end up still calling back to these companies and spending this $2,000, per day to develop new bots, right? So, or just tweak other ones. I had a call this morning from my buddy who a system had changed and it had caused this problem that they had to go in and update the task, the bot, because it couldn't accept the changes. And so that would have been a big amount of money that company's paying out of pocket to make some tweaks because someone at some other company outside their control made some changes. So what's number 9? Let's get to number 9. Hey, there's a free alternative, right? Autohotkey is a free open source software. And the other really great thing about Autohotkey, it does the vast majority of what these RPA tools do. Now, I don't want to try to say it does everything because there's some really cool stuff that those do. And Autohotkey via API calls, you can do a lot of cool stuff as well. However, in those other tools, sometimes they'll have templates to help you. And for that, in Autohotkey, you can find things on the forum, the Autohotkey forum, or elsewhere of templates to use. But there is a bit of a learning curve, right? But one of the great things about that is even though Autohotkey can do, it doesn't do everything, it actually can do some stuff that others can't do, right? So Autohotkey is a command line language that, and you can look at the code, it's just plain text, so it's easy to read, it's easy to program in. The other tools are all GUI based, and if you've ever tried to get a programmer to use a GUI based tool, you'll see it takes you a lot longer to build stuff in a GUI than it does if you just know the code. Now, the other tools do have templates, which will help with that, but it still takes a long time to do it. Autohotkey, often you can solve problems in a matter of minutes instead of hours trying to program with a GUI. The great thing is you don't really need to be a programmer. I'm not a programmer. I have no background in programming, and yet I've taught myself how to do all this stuff. I've also created, I have around 50 webinars on Autohotkey. I have over, I think, 600 videos on YouTube. Those are all free. Both of those are free. The free webinars, they're on YouTube as well. I also have 3 Udemy courses where I teach people how to code in Autohotkey and how to program and automate things. The really nice thing about it is, let's say that you start learning Autohotkey and later you decide it's not the right tool for you. Well, you know what? Whoever, whether it's you or your employees that were learning that, all those skills still apply. So it doesn't, the time invested isn't a loss. So you could be doing that now and learning things about it, because a lot of those same skill sets are utilized when the RPA solution comes in. You still have to understand how to break down a task, what needs to get automated, kind of the general approach. All of those things apply. So what are the recommended next steps? One, I would say, is subscribe to my alerts right here at the-automator.com/news. If you go there and subscribe. Now, I don't send out spam, and I don't sell it to anybody. I don't give it to anybody. This is just my list, and I love teaching people how to automate programs. In this, usually what I'll demonstrate is I send about every other week, and I have demonstrations of what I've recently automated, so it helps you think outside the box of realizing there is stuff you can do that you didn't even realize you could do. I also, of course, teach you how to automate. The vast majority of what I do is I actually teach you how to do it, not just look at the cool thing I did. Sometimes I do that, but for the most part, I'm teaching you how to solve problems. I also feature cool new scripts that I find and I pass them along, and then some just general time-saving hacks. So I would recommend you sign up for my alerts. Again, I don't sell it to anybody. The next one is, if you're really interested, go to the-automator.com and look up /Udemy and check out my Udemy courses. If you go there, you'll see I have coupon codes from my site for the courses, and generally speaking, it'll be the cheapest you can possibly get them. I think most of them are $12.99, and it's just the great thing that I try to explain to people about my Udemy courses. I don't think I'm the end all be all. What I do, though, is I give you a flow, a starting place. Here's what to start on, and here's the steps to work through. And as you go through, it gives you direction and control. The forum, the Autohotkey forum, it's a really great place, and people will help support you. There's also a Discord platform that you can ask questions on, and there's a lot of sources where people will help you. But the problem is there's no clear flow, and so what I'm obviously giving is people to say, start here, learn this first, and then learn this, and it just helps. I think most people like having some direction of understanding where to start and not getting confused of not understanding all these things. And so it's just a great, easy way. And then, of course, if you are a student, you can ask questions, and I answer them usually that day or within an hour or something. The next thing I would say is go check out some of our webinars. Like I said, I think we're on number 48 at the moment. And we have those usually based by topic. So things like if you want to learn web scraping, or if you want to learn API calls, or if you want to learn automating Excel or automating Outlook and sending emails, there's a lot of things we teach in there. How to do regular expressions and parse out text, how to manipulate files and folders on your computer. So we have, like I said, I think 48 of them. And there are just a lot of wealth there that those are all free, right? Check it out. So I hope this gets you excited. Again, to me, even if you decide later to go with an automation solution, learning a bit about how to do the stuff yourself is really a great thing to do, because you don't waste the knowledge. It just helps you work smarter, not harder, and that's what I'm all about. All right, cheers.